Hello, hello, and welcome to Tier 2 Silverstone. As you can see, as this current standing suggests, Ule still leads the pack, with Rosu behind and Potts in third, Hugendorf fifth, Skalski sixth, and for the constructors, Alfa Romeo are leading the charge with Aston Martin and the Mercedes, and McLaren also in hot pursuit. So, any predictions for today as we go into the British GP? Who do you reckon is going to take home the win? We're waiting for one more driver to join the lobby and we will be starting. It is one of Max's boys as well, in the form of Van Loon. And Kizil will be running late. The Red Bull boys are in trouble. They tried to ready up the lobby when there was 3 drivers in it, Kista. So I'll be having words with you after the race. But yes, as you can see from the graphics, it's yeah, but the lobby wasn't. No one was in the lobby, and they left it till 1 second to unready while I was trying to set up the lobby. Was not happy. Well, I'm going to let the boys know it's ready up time. Any prediction? Who do you reckon's putting it on pole? There's no chappers today. Harris for pole or someone else? I better also get prepared for the ensuing chaos that is bound to happen. No. Let's not. Okay, that is not cash money. The goats are getting first and second, but currently only one of your boys, Max, are in the lobby. The other one has told me to start, and he will join in after, because he's having to restart his PC. I've prepared, as Lurgestam has disconnected. Classic Lurgestam. He can join, Max. Max, it's on friends. He can join. I'm not alt-tabbing to invite someone. Tell them to join. Also, if you're a Ferrari member, tell Lurgislam he can reconnect. I'm not alt-tabbing to invite him either. There he is. Lurgislam has returned. Will McWilliams' internet hold up stable? Or, or is he in the mud? As here we go. The first car's coming out already. And the first car looked like it was, I don't know who is the first car out. It's an AlphaTauri. And it's going to be Alsop leading the pack. Alright, chat. Who do you reckon the top 5 will be then? Let's widen the range. Top 5. Yes, Alsop transferred from Haas to AlphaTauri. He's leading them out. With McWilliams and Sanders still battling, jostling for position slightly further behind. The very long, slow pit lane at Silverstone. A lot of time can be lost. Hugendorn was already here. It was Van Loon who was connecting. But we've got 18 drivers. Kizil might be late. Is the news we're hearing. Kizil has yet to arrive. But anyway, Alsop now coming around the final few corners. What bench time marker do you reckon we're gonna get? What sort of first lap times are we expecting? A 1:28 dead. As Alsop has spun through the curve, the second corner. So Alsop there, no doing of that. So we're going to switch to McWilliams now, who's also on a lap. Alsop will not be happy about that. As Alsop coming round the first corner, gets a loose back end and just drops it. But meanwhile, it's at McWilliams through the first sector now finished, coming through Woodcote now. No problem through Woodcote. The next up is going to be Copse. Flat out around Copse for McWilliams. He's going to now come in through Maggots and Beckett's. Smoothly through, and now it's going to be Chapel. No issue through Chapel. Looks like he's going to get a tow from a teammate as well. Was this possibly planned? Vlad giving McWilliams a nice tow as he now comes through Stowe. A little bit of traffic ahead. Let's make sure they can move out of the way as he's now going to be coming through the final few corners. Is in onto Vale. Round Vale. Final corner now is going to be setting our benchmark time. Club through the first part of Club. Now the second part of Club and down towards the start finish line. And it's a 1:28.4 for McWilliams. The next car to be coming round is Sanders still goes 1:28.3. And then it's going to be Cop with a 1:28.8. I think Ule is the next car. No, Skowski. Skowski goes 1:28.3. And then it's going to be Potts with a 1:28.4. And then next is Alsop is going to finished the lap they was on. And Alsop says a 2:10, so definitely not the sort of lap time you'll be looking for. And then it's going to be Elsom, the lone Alpine today. Goes 1:28.0. And next up, I believe it's going to be Harris. No, it's going to be his teammate in Matthews. Matthews goes 1:29. Then it's going to be Harris coming through Vale now. Two more corners. And it's through the first part club and now wrapping around for the second part club. It's looking fast. 1:28.5. So no doing there. Next up is going to be Gibbs on his debut drive out here today. 1:28.7 puts it around the midfield currently. Van Loon in the pits, so it's going to be Hugendorn next. Hugendorn puts it P5. Next is going to be Rosu to watch as he comes through the second part club now. And Rosu goes, oh my, 5/10 faster. 5/10 faster for Rosu. Rosu throwing down the gauntlet. Is Alsop on another lap possibly? Looks to be pushing a lot faster than last time. Round through Stowe now, no issues this time. Vale and then the double right-hander of Club. The first part of Club, no issue at all. And then brings it round for their second part of Club. Runs on the edge, a 1:29.7. A little bit off the pace there, possibly older tyres. And the next car to be on a lap then will be the drunk man himself, Drunky Monkey, on an out lap currently. As he pulls off to the side to let cars go through. Or is Van Loon's in the pits? Is Hugendorn who comes into the pits? Both the Ferraris look to be on a lap. Lurgistan, meanwhile, I'd put it P3. But Rosu's time is right up there. Rosu absolutely put a banger lap in. So it's going to be now Monk. To start through the second part club. And here he goes. And he's going to be driving down towards Abbey. The first corner, flat out right-hander here. Right on the limits, and he's going to be going through the farm and into village. Late braking turn, hard right through village, and it's going to be the looping left-hander of the loop. And then in the dry conditions, entry's basically flat out, and it's not really a corner as it just flows nicely off the loop onto the Wellington straight now. You're going to be looking to open up that DRS right on time and then put the throttle down. So it's purple sector 1 currently, and it's going to be in to Brooklyn's, a long right-hander now, Luffield, a long sweeping right, multiple lines you can take through it, comes out of Luffield, and then it's going to be onto Woodcote, onto the Lewis Hamilton straight now. Still flat out through Cops, shift it down quickly and then go flat back out. No problem there, he's now going to be coming through Magnetic, the tricky technical sector. Drops it down into 7th for the third part, and then on the exit, and it's going to be a drive out into Cops. Gets a bit of a snap though, so not looking too good. And he comes onto the hangar straight now. A big snap though on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's onto Chapel, and now it comes through Stowe. Definitely would have lost time here though. Sorry. And then it's going to be the final drive down to Vale, the left-hander of Vale, into the double right-hander of Club. First part of Club done, run it, swing it out wide, and then swing it back in. Where's Monk going to put it? Monk puts it P2. The only two drivers to go under the 1:27s. And next up is going to be Van Loon, I believe, on lap. He's also set a purple sector 1. Chapper's currently being a bit full of himself in the chat. But it's going to be Van Loon now as he's going to drive towards Cops. Right on the limits there through Cops, and he's going to be making a swift move through Maggots and Beckett's now. There's left, then the right, then another left for Beckett, and then the back to the second part of Beckett. Get right on the power for Chapel, swing it out round, and then get on the hanger straight DRS. And now it's going to be the drive down towards Stowe for Van Loon. Let's see what Van Loon can do through Stowe. Hug it nice and tightly. Make sure not to get too much curb though. Swing it out nicely on the exit, and he's looking to go through Vale now. It's looking like a very competitive time for Van Loon here. The double right-hander of Vale Club to go. Second part now. Where's he going to put it? Pits it P2. Another 127. Track really starting to come to life. Next car though, it looks like it's going to be Sander still. And he's 3/10 up. And Sander still goes into P5 at that time. Then it's going to be the Haas is on an outlap, so it's going to be not Binder, it's going to be his teammate Kopp. Kopp here, final corner now. And Kopp improves, goes P9. Both the Mercs into the pits, and it's going to be Hugendorn next then. On his outlap. So it's not Hugendorn. Harris is on an outlap. Gibbs is on an outlap. Lurgestam on an outlap. Skowski has invalidated, and then spins as well. Skowski with a bit of a spin. Not looking too hot through Stowe there, but Ule has gone the fastest by only a tiny little bit as Elsom has left the lobby, but Ule putting a big lap in while we watch his teammate spin. But it's going to be McWilliams now. And it's going to be Ule, and McWilliams doesn't improve there unless that was an outlap. But no improvements there for Alsop. So next up is going to be not Sanders still. I believe it's going to be Alsop. Currently a little bit off the pace there, and Alsop has spun again through their favourite corner on the curve through farm, or the farm curve, no doing. And Kiziel goes 131, even slower, as Alsop is showing us his ballerina moves. Big spins. Big spins. But meanwhile, Van Loon is not. But Hugendorn goes P8 there. And then it's going to be Harris puts it up into P3. Right on the back. And then it's the Ferrari pair. And Lurgestam doesn't improve. Gibbs doesn't improve. The next is going to be Vizendi in 19th at the moment, who's invalidated this. So Vizendi's not improving. But I think we need to take a look at Rosa, who's currently getting a big toe from McWilliams there. It's going to be very important. And he comes now through Vale. One final corner to go. The second part of club on the limits there. A little bit loose, but it seems to keep it in. And Vlad goes only 4 thousandths faster. Only 4 thousandths was enough for current P1. So Vlad regains P1 there. As is Kiziel on another lap? No, Kiziel is into the pits on intermediates. It's a bold move, Cotton. But Monk is on a lap. As he comes through Stowe now. Try not to invalidate over that last. Monk is not on a lap, ignore me. I stand corrected, he's on an out lap. Lurgestam is on an in lap. Is anyone on a lap for right now? Possibly the Ferrari of Gibbs, no. The Haas of Vizendi might be. Vizendi really needs to set a time here. Through Vale now, and then it's going to be club, first part of club done. We wait for Vizendi to come around the second part of club now. And it's Vizendi up into P4 at that time. What a lap. Very close near the front. The first all the way to 16th, separated by less than a second. So there's definitely time on this track, as I believe it was Monk who was currently on a lap. But meanwhile, is looks like Van Loon actually was invalidated this lap, sadly. So won't be improving there. Harris is not on one, but Matthews in P17 is on a lap with one corner to go. Matthews was on an outlap. I've been lied to. So it will be Monk who's on a lap. Monk looking to improve, possibly challenge for the pole position here. He's 2 tenths up currently, which would slot him around P3. Through Stowe now. Only a few corners left to go for Monk. There on club. Can Monk improve? And Monk goes up into P3. Although Monk does have a grid penalty to serve still, so it's not where he's gonna be. Where he is currently not where he'll be starting the actual race. So the next car to go around this track on a lap. Elsom is on his outlap right now. What can Elsom do in that Alpine? Alpine, the cursed car according to some drivers. Can Elsom break the curse? Elsom and Chappers were very dominant around Japan. Very unlucky with the end result though, as it's going to be Elsom now starting up his lap. Let's see if he can improve on his 128 as he comes around the first corner now. Abbey through to the farm curve. Then he's going to be late on the brakes and try and get as much time as possible into Village. And then it's going to be a swing it back around for the left-hander of Luke. Take it nice and tight, go as wide as possible, and then turn making A-Tree into a flat-out, non-existing corner. Open that DRS flap. He's got a car behind him as well, looking very fast. Looks like Skowski's on an outlap there. But he's going to be Elsom now through Brooklands. The long left-hander, followed by the very long flying right-hander of Luffield. Then it's going to be on to Woodcote. There's a little bit of traffic ahead. Let's make sure everyone moves out his way. Nicely done, boys. And then it's going to be flat out. Drop it down a gear quickly into Cops. Take as much curb as you can, but don't overrun. Then it's going to be Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see what he can do through Maggots and Beckett's. The first part, Maggots, no problem at all. Second part, Beckett, nicely controlled, and it's going to be on through Chapel. Doesn't touch any curb. He's 3 tenths up currently. It's going to be a very competitive time for Elsom. Probably his last lap that he's going to be able to get here. Elsom through Stowe now. Make it count, lad. Making sure not to run too wide. It's going to be on late on the brakes. Sharp left through Val. Then the double right hander of Club. The first part of Club. He eases off the throttle a little bit. Gets a little bit of snab on the exit. And he's going to look to push. And it's going to be P3 currently for Elsom. What a banger lap. As Ule now starts his lap. And he's going to have Potts, I believe, behind him as well on lap. The track very, very busy right now. Who is currently on a lap? Monk is definitely not on a lap. Harris as Kizyul just put that time from out of nowhere. Kizyul goes P1, and then it's gonna be the, I think Binder and Kopf have both just started their laps. So the next up across the line is gonna be McWilliams on a lap right now, I believe. No, McWilliams was an out lap. I stand corrected. Hugendorn. Oh, and we got a big spin as Sanderstill loses it through Brooklands there. Sanderstill will not be happy about that, but it's Hugendorn coming around the final corner now on an out lap. Skowski, on the other hand, puts it P8. Vizendi doesn't get enough time for another lap. Van Loon doesn't get enough time for another lap. Hugendorn, no more laps. So it's going to be Harris, I believe. And Harris goes P1. What a lap time from Harris. And next up is going to be Elsom. Is Elsom improving? I don't think so, not with that time. So it's going to be Ule next. And Ule does improve, but it's not enough. Monk has retired in the pits as Potts goes P7. Next up is going to be the double Red Bull pairing of Binder and Kopf. AlphaTauri in the mud. The chance gets screamed. It's going to be Kopf first, who's invalidated this time. So we watch Binder. Binder goes up into P12. And then it's going to be, I think it's Rosu next. Rosu looking to improve here. Rosu up into P3. Then the Ferrari pairing. Lurchstam up into P10. Then it's going to be McWilliams. Any improvements for McWilliams? McWilliams stays P16. So, there we have it. Harris takes P1, Ule P2, Rosu P3, Kizil P4, Elson P5, Monk 6th, Pot 7th, Vazandi 8th, Skalski 9th, and Lodoslam rounds out the top 10. There will be a lobby restart as we apply the grid penalties. So it'll be Ule who will be on pole, with Rosu 2nd and Harris 3rd. What a qualifying session, boys. And we've still got the main race to go. Duck it, if you're in chat, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. But there we have it. The top 15, less than a second gap. But Harris, 3/10 up on P2. Let's see if he can keep that one lap pace and turn it into race pace, shall we? As we're going to go get ready for the lobby restart. I'm going to give you a bit of music and you can look at the standings currently as they are. And we would have had a wet Silverstone. But a lobby restart possibly saves the boys from the rain. The grid is ready. The drivers are readying up. We're about to get back on action. And I'm going to pop downstairs and get my dinner. I have acquired my dinner. As we wait for the drivers to do their setting up. Very overcast tonight here at Silverstone. Could we expect some rain? No, Sunday dinner. People are in the wrong teams. I hate people. We're going to have to restart the lobby. How many people are in the wrong teams? Fuck me. Yeah, okay. So what's happened is, Harris hasn't picked a car, and neither has Alsop. So Harris is driving an AlphaTauri for the race, and Alsop is in a Alpine. Is it worth? I don't think we should restart the lobby. We know who they actually drive for. We'll have a look into it. I would rather not. Yeah. We'll put a vote in the red flag chat. I wanted to watch the race. I'm not for red flagging it. We need to choose now. Because they're about to start. As here we go. The drivers are starting. And it's a chaos in the back. As it's Ule up into P1. Harris gets spun. There's a big incident. Absolute carnage. Are we saying... One moment. It looks like the red flag vote has gone through. There is a red flag. It is a lobby restart so people can pick their right teams. I take you back to the standings. And I'll give you more music. And now I've got to remake it all over again. Because the guys can't pick their correct teams. People couldn't pick the correct team. So you guys instead get some absolute bangers.
let's do grid without Reese. I mean, they left
No,
before
there's
the race
someone
even
missing.
started anyway.
There's someone
yeah,
missing.
it's Reese. It's
Why?
Reese who left before the race even started last time.
Did they? They
Yeah,
joined the
they
lobby
did.
though. We was at 19.
Yeah, they joined the lobby but left the information up.
I don't know what's going on.
They had red extra information up.
Yeah,
They
they've,
left.
they've
So just do the grid without them.
I've just got to apply penalties now. And then we're good to go. Harris had a 2 place. Monk had a 2 place. Van Loon with a 3 place. Hooveniers isn't here today. Elson with a 5. Alsop isn't racing now. Someone else has left the lobby! Who just left? Who the...
Maybe I'm colorblind. Don't know where I lost the colors. I only see black and white. Come to think of it, but it all comes back when the moon gets low, dancing in the afterglow. And when the room starts spinning and my eyes are closed, feeling like I'm not alone. 'Cause there's a ghost in the machine. I only see you when I go to sleep. I build a wall under the sheets, and when I'm dreaming that you're here with me, I close my eyes, keep us alive. Someone please turn off the lights. 'Cause there's a ghost in the machine. I only see you when I go to sleep. There's a ghost in the
Alright, we're about to start racing. There is no more red flags. You're only allowed 1 per race. It's looking a lot more sunny now at Silverstone. here we go. We get to watch turn 1 carnage all over again. Everyone is in the correct cars. No one is in the incorrect cars. And Sanderson and Gibbs seemingly having contact there further back. As we run with your current championship points leader, Ule, with his closest rival in P2. The two of them, I'm expecting a fierce battle. Hopefully they can keep it clean. I'm sure we can expect some turn 1 chaos from the boys all over again. As we have them warming up their tyres. Let's see what everyone's on. And it's a big mix again, but this time they're leaning more towards the hard than the soft. In Tier 1, a lot more people were on the medium. Yes, Tissue looking to make a move on Harris on the start, possibly. As the back now just forming up. But we're about to get underway with the racing. We've got 5 lights. And away we go. Standstill with a jump start there. Not a very good start further back for Harris as well. As it's going to be Rosu who overtakes Ule through turn 1. Potts with a mega start though as he looks to make a move through Village on either of them. He gets squeezed out and pulls out. The two at the front make contact. Now it's going to be Potts looking to make a move on Rosu through the loop. As what a start. We have a Sanderstill who's all the way. And Potts with a big snap. Free jump starts, very true. No, not free jump starts. I hope the lobby isn't glitched. As we have a virtual safety car. Sanderstill seemingly having a lot of damage there. As Van Loon has got a penalty for ignoring yellows. Absolute chaos in Tier 2 Silverstone. What is the glitch? Oh my fucking god. I didn't change any of the fucking settings. Let's check if it's on. It shouldn't be, because I literally just saved. Ghosting isn't on. Ghosting isn't on. Go away, Kister. As meanwhile, we're back on the racing. Ghosting isn't on. So there is no lobby restart. Potts possibly lagging, very true. As Potts has now also got a 5 second for ignoring yellows. But it's going to be Ule defending Rosu. Harris on the back of them now. And Kivu and P4 Lurdstam's made a big jump up into P5. The big gainer though is Matthews up into P8, gaining 9 places and looking to make a move on Van Loon down the straight. And Matthews is past Van Loon, runs a bit deep though through Brooklands, but holds it around Luffield, and he is going to make that move stick. But meanwhile, it's Rosu and Ule very close as we come through Cops. There's a big spin further back. It's going to be Elsum in the Alpine. The Alpine curse lives on, seemingly losing it through Luffield on his way to Woodcote. But it's going to be Ule leading Rosu, leading Harris, and Kizil behind them. Then Lurgesam and Potts Monk just in the back. Matthews has gained 10 places. And the McLaren boys also gaining as Kizil has made a move on Harris. On the hanger straight, keeps it clean through Pop. And going to be on his way, hunting down the front two through there. We've got yellow flags again for Sander still. In the back there. And Potts is having a nightmare. Potts has run very wide as Kizil sets the fastest lap. Kizil looking rapid, but Monk also going fast as Potts now gets another 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So it's not a good race for Potts. But meanwhile up the front it's going to be Ule leading Rosu. Kizil who was the fastest lap for a little while until Monk came and snatched it from him. And we've got yellow flags further back, and it's going to be Elsum again. Elsum had an incident by the looks of it on the farm curve. But back to the front it's Rosu now, who's got past Ule. Rosu takes the lead. Ascend on the inside on the Wellington straight seems to have made it stick, and Rosu will look to pull away from Ule now. Kizil all over the back of Ule as well. And see if we can get a good camera angle. Thank you. As Kizil now hunting down Ule as well. Harris dropping a little bit off the back here. But Harris on hard. Kizil is on the medium. Rosu also on the medium. As here we go. He's going to look to get him on the hanger straight possibly. He has a look for Stowe, but no doing. He slots back in. And Kizil may be looking to make a send on Vale, but thinks better of it. But he's really putting the pressure on Ule here on the hards. The mediums for Kizil look really fired up. As Elsum has left the session. He hasn't left correctly unless he's disconnected. But Monk also on them hards, looking quite fast and racy. But meanwhile, it's going to be Rosu who leads Ule with Kizil all over his rear. The mediums for Kizil looking really on the money, but this is keeping Harris in contention as well. And Kizil loses the back end. Kizil goes spinning. No, a heartbreak for Kizil as he drops a few places there. And it's going to be Kizil dropping to 9th. Let's have a look at that again quickly. Just the back end swings out. The back end swinged out on Kizil. So it's now going to be Rosu with almost a second over Ule. Ule going to be holding onto that DRS. Harris now hunting down Ule. Ule runs very deep around Cops there. That was a disaster indeed. And Ule has dropped out of the second range on Rosu. So Rosu can really look to extend that gap now. And it's going to be Harris hunting down Ule, who won't have the DRS. There's a bit of a train forming behind Ule here. If Harris can hold on to the back. And then further back, it's going to be Matthews on the mediums with the double McLaren stacking behind them, both on the hards as they hunt him down. How long will them mediums hold out before the hards are lapping on pace, if not faster? As meanwhile, Vizendi has gone past the AI and Sanderstill has retired in the pits. As Rosu sets the fastest lap of the race now. Rosu looking very fast on their mediums. Harris eyeing up the back of Ule here. He's getting a little bit closer. Ule feeling the pressure for certain. Harris takes a bit of that sausage curve though, so might not get as good of an exit. Ule going to look to extend that gap, but there's no doing it. Harris now, the DRS 3 in. Ule goes to cover him off. And Harris isn't able to get close enough. And in fact, it's going to be Lurgestam who gained onto the back of Harris. So is Harris running a lower wing setup, a higher wing setup possibly? Because he looks very, very fast as they're almost side by side. Harris gets a lot of damage there. And Harris has lost his front wing. As now Monk is going to look to make a move on Harris. Harris defending hard. But Monk gets through on the inside there. Harris with a... Harris with the damage is not going to be good for his race. But meanwhile, Rosu now has a 1.7 second lead with Ule second. Lurdestam now hunting down Ule and Monk in P4. P5 for Harris currently, and he's going to have to come into the pits really early and change that wing. So it now puts his teammate up into 6th. Hugendorn up into 6th. Van Loon 7th, and Kizil will probably get past him as well here. And meanwhile, it's going to be, there's no real super close cars, but I think you have to look at Lurdestam. He's creeping up into the back here of Ule. And he's going to be DRS assisted. Ule seemingly not enjoying the race pace here. As Lurdestam is right on his rear now. Harris having a very long pit stop, but meanwhile, Lurdestam is all over the back of Ule here for P2. And meanwhile, Rosu is really stretching them legs. And Lurdestam, if he can keep up with him here, he's got the hanger straight. About on pace, the gap remaining 3 to 4 tenths, and now the DRS opens. But Ule really gets a good drive out of Chapel. So there's no doing it yet. And meanwhile, Matthews now seems to be at the hands of Hugendorn. Hugendorn looking to make a move up the inside of Stowe. Side by side. A little bit of wheel banging. And he's going to go around the outside of Vale possibly. What a move! Hugendorn gets the move done on Matthews. And meanwhile, it seems like Van Loon has had an incident. Van Loon dropping a little bit off the back there as we watch his teammate get through. Let's have a look at that move again as Lurdestam, meanwhile, is on the back. Oh, we're going to go back to the action because Lurdestam is all over the rear of Ule. But Ule very fast on that straight. Ule must be running really low wing, because even with the DRS assistance, Lurdestam couldn't get him. But now Lurdestam looks to go on the outside, eyeing up a move through Potts, but no doing of it. And Potts now sets the fastest lap in P17. But meanwhile, we're going to carry on following this battle because Lurdestam is really eyeing up Ule, but Monk is right behind as well. Lurdestam in a bit of a tight sandwich now. Lurdestam not sure if he's thinking to attack or defend. We've got yellow flags further behind. The yellow flags have passed now. As Binder has made a move on Van Loon meanwhile. But we're going to keep with this battle for P2 currently. The 3 drivers all on the hards here. Come through Abbey, now through Farm Curve. Lurdestam gaining a little bit through here. Ule gets a little bit of puff of smoke come out the back. Lurdestam runs a wide line and tighter through here. And there's contact. There is contact as Ule gets passed by Lurdestam. And he's now going to be at the hands of Monk as well. There was a bit of contact there though from Lurdestam. Naughty Lurdestam. As Vizendi meanwhile sets the fastest lap now on his mediums. And there's a spin. Looks like Skowski's had a spin on the exit of loop. But we're going to go back to the action for P2 still because it's almightily close. Lurdestam now has to defend the 2 behind him. And Monk's rear is flashing, but Monk is all over the back of Lurdestam. Elson picks up the first free track limit warning penalty. And here we go onto the hanger straight. And Monk is all over the back of Lurdestam. Looks to go around the outside and he makes it stick before the corner. Before Stowe was even upon him. But Monk running very wide there. Not getting a good exit. As meanwhile, Kizu has now done Matthews. And then Kizu gets done by Matthews. And then it's going to be Vale side by side here. On the inside, looking to maybe switch back onto double-hander of a club, but no doing. So it's going to be Hugendorn dropping this pairing off. And back now for P2 though, because these three are battling tooth and nail for the second step on that podium currently. As Lurgistan takes a much wider line there, looking maybe for a better exit through Antri. He's going to have the DRS. Will he look to make a move through Brooklands? No, he's not close enough to make the move. But Monk's rear flashing is going to surely be music to their ears, as Harris meanwhile has made a move on Vizendi. Harris is flying, and Van Loon gets on the inside, and Brooklands on Binder. And it is very good for Rosu, as Rosu now almost has a 5-second lead on them medium tyres. As the three are still squabbling for position. But we're going to switch to the battle for 6th place currently, because it looks like Kizel through Maggins and Beckett's is looking a little bit faster than Matthews, both on the medium tyre compound. So their tyres are going to start to go off, and Kizel with the DRS, as it looks like Harris has had an incident on the exit of Luffield there. So Harris has had a spin, and Kizel is done and got through on Matthews for P6. That is for position. And meanwhile, these three are battling. We're going to have a quick look at that move by Kizu round the outside into Stowe. No problem at all. And back to the action though, because it's going to be Monk, who is almost gained a second now on Lurgistam, and Ule is struggling to keep up with the back of this two. Ule is dropping off the back. He's outside the second. We'll have the DRS here, but he needs to find some more pace, I think. He's really struggling through the weaving sections. In Sector 2, definitely losing a lot of time there. He's in fact dropped off the back. As meanwhile, Scousey and Gibbs battling into the entrance of Vale. Scousey makes a move 6 for P16. But Uday needs to find some pace here. He's just not really firing up the tyres like the other two in front. Lurgistan will have the DRS. Hopefully that can keep him in range of Monk. Because Monk looking to drop these two off and catch up to Rosu. The gap actually coming down now as Monk picks up a 3-second penalty and Rosu's in the pits. The race leader is in the pits. And now it's going to be Monk leading this race, with Lurgistan second, Ule third. And let's see if them fresh hards can catch up to the hard runners and see what the gap will look like after everyone has pit, because that's what's going to be important. It was 4.2 seconds as they pitted, as meanwhile Monk almost dropping Lurgistan off. Will Lurgistan get the DRS? Lurgistan does. Ule doesn't though. But Ule without it is still well within the range. Not dropping off the back, but as soon as he comes through corners, he's losing the back of Lurgistan just a little bit more. Not looking good for Ule here. So Rosu comes out P11. Clear track around him, so he's got some fresh air to really work with now. Let's see what he can do with that fresh air. He's going to have to, he's warming up them hards not liking the track. As meanwhile, it's going to be Van Loon with Binder. Was a little bit close there for a second, but he seems to have dropped off the back now. And it's going to be, where is the nearest action? Currently it is for P9. Binder still within the second range of Van Loon. And Van Loon has a big spin there. That's not good for Van Loon, as McWilliams also gets past him. So it's going to be McWilliams now eyeing possibly the back of Binder up as we watch the onboard here of Binder. And you just see Van Loon just drops it there through Beckett's. The second part of Beckett's, not enjoying that at all. Losing 2 positions to that, and now Rosu might be thinking about it. We're going to have a quick look at the tyres. So the only person, as Matthews now comes into the pits on them 11 lap old mediums. But it's going to be Monk in P1, who's now gained over a second, but he's got a 3-second penalty lingering above his head. Lurgestam second, Ule third, Rudolph 5.5 seconds off the back of them, with Kizyul on the mediums, still looking very racy, really looking after them tyres here is Kizyul. Other than that little spin he had, it's been a very good race for him. This is 4th position as well. Will he make the move before he has to come into the pits is the question. Very close to the back. Gets a better exit as well. We'll get the DRS assistance here. The gap going down now quite a bit. Kizyul eyes it up but doesn't make the move in the end. It's a little bit too far away. As Lurgestam's into the pits. The first of the hard runners in. Very early from Lurgestam, I think. But Lurgestam has decided to come into the pits. And now Matthews has been done by Vizendi meanwhile. They're side by side. He's done him before Maggots and Beckett's. Absolute mad lad behaviour. And meanwhile, Van Loon and Rosu. Rosu on the fresh hards. Van Loon on the old hards. But Vlad is flying on them fresh hards. As Vizendi now also into the pits. Harris has got a mountain to climb on them mediums if he wants to not stop again. But it's going to be Monk now who leads this race. Almost 3 seconds on Ule. And then after Ule it's going to be Hugodon who's over 6 seconds behind now with Kizyul still on his rear. Kizyul on them mediums really making them last as Scousey sets the fastest lap again. They're all swapping over positions as the pits are coming through. And they're very staggered, these pits. Not everyone coming in at the same time. Still no full safety car. Only the one virtual safety car. And now Kizyul pits. But Ule's also into the pits. And Kizyul steading into the pits. That's heartbreak for Kizyul. A big old time penalty on his head. So how far off the back is Hugondom? 9 seconds to Monk. And I wonder what the gap is between Monk and Rosu. Is 26, so Rosu should still maintain the lead after the pits are finished. Which is very good news here for Rosu. Rosu now, after the guys in front have pitted, up into P5. Van Loon yet to pit. Lurgestam, what's the gap? 4 seconds between Lurgestam and Rosu currently. So it's very, very close between Lurgestam and Rosu. Because, yeah, the mediums are a little bit pacier, I'd have thought. So watch that gap between Lurgestam and Rosu, because that could be for first place. But meanwhile, Monk is still pulling away from Hugondorn, and it's going to be Harris on his teammate. Harris on the older mediums, and Matthews on the fresh hards. Matthews seemingly struggling to fire them up a little bit though, because Harris is eyeing him up. He's like a snack, and Harris wants to gobble his teammate up. And Monk now into the pit, so Hugondorn takes the lead. Where will Monk come out in regards to Rosu? It's going to be very close actually, because Rosu is just coming around the start-finish line now. But Rosu is ahead of Monk. Monk actually losing a position as well to Lurgestam by the looks of it. They're side by side. No, Monk takes back the position through Village. And Lurdestam had a massive loss of power there. Lurdestam dropping further down. Was that Gibbs? That was Gibbs, ignore me. That was Gibbs, the lap car. I thought that was Lurdestam. I stand corrected. But Lurdestam did do Van Loon in the background. And further back, it's going to be Binder, McWilliams and Potts all jostling it out here. They've all pitted, so this is for position. And McWilliams looking to go round on the inside. And he's made the move stick. McWilliams up into P11, Binder P12, Potts P13. And Huggendorn now into the pits. Had 15 seconds on Rosu. Rosu who's got 3.5, so the gap actually went down. It was 4.2 when they all came into the pits. And it is now 3.2. So Monk overcut the gap to Rosu a little bit. But Monk has that 3-second penalty lingering above his head, which won't do him any good. As we see Rosu come past. Now Monk. And then Lurdestam just behind. As Huggendorn is going to drop down the order a little bit. Ule, though, is looking very, very fast here. On their mediums, seems to have found a bit more pace than he had on the hards. And further back, it's McWilliams still defending, as Potts has now got through as well. And Monk is slowly chipping away at that lead. He's on the fresher medium. As Ule has done Van Loon. Van Loon looking to really make them hards last. And Harris has done Koff. Koff has run very wide there. Now Koff is going to be in danger from the trio behind him. As it's going to be Potts on McWilliams. There's a little bit of contact there though. And McWilliams doesn't get a nice switch back on him. Almost taps his rear as well. And it's Potts up into P11 as Huggendorn picks up a 3-second time penalty, pushing hard. Kizu has leapfrogged him, and Van Loon with the DRS on Ule. Van Loon hasn't dropped off the back. He's 15 lap old tyres. And he's still going. That gap though, Rosu has lost 6/10 this one lap alone. I'd love to be able to put up a graphic of how much that gap went and how much each of them are lapping. But I don't have the facilities for that, big man. As meanwhile, they're still battling it out. McWilliams on Potts again. And McWilliams has made the move stick. McWilliams back up to P11. And all three of these guys will see Kopf in front. No, now that is the final points paying position. The gap at the moment between the front two though, staying at a stable 2.5. Rosu possibly putting a bit more pace down now, realising that he's in a little bit of danger from Monk. Lurdestam not able to keep up with the flying Monk. Ule is keeping it within 2 seconds on Lurdestam as well, and Van Loon still hasn't stopped on them hards. Absolute mad lad behaviour from Van Loon. Then it's going to be Kiziel P6, Huggendorn P7, Matthews P8, Harris P9 and Kopf in P10. The final point playing position as McWilliams and Potts are still battling it out for P11. We have 9 laps to go here in Silverstone. Make that 8 when Rosu crosses the line. And there's going to be blue flags in front, so McWilliams might get DRS here as well, actually. Yeah, McWilliams gets the DRS from the lapped car of Gibbs. So now it's going to be McWilliams getting that DRS, able to pull a little bit away from Potts there. As the gap has gone down, and Van Loon is now into the pits. So Kizu goes back up into P5, Huggendorn P6, Matthew P7, Harris P8. Where's Van Loon going to come out? He's going to be well off the order. He's on fresh mediums, but he's gone very long. The gap between Monk and Rosu now, 2 seconds. It's coming down, ladies and gentlemen. Are we going to get a final lap shootout? Although, Monk has to lead Rosu by 3 seconds. He has a 3-second penalty. As meanwhile, Vizendi picks up a 3-second penalty. Not good for him. And Lurgesam just not able to keep up with the front two. And Ule is maintaining the status quo with Lurgesam. And I would like to point out, watch Hugendorm on the back of Kizyul. Kizyul looks to be fast, but Hugendorm on the fresh mediums might be able to make inroads. And Potts and McWilliams still battling for that final point, but it's going to be Binder actually all over the back of the Potts here. And Binder's eyeing up Potts. Goes for the inside on the straight. And that's for P11. Binder makes the move stick on Potts. But meanwhile, the gap between Monk and Rosu is coming down more and more. Rosu made an early stop and Monk made a much later stop. Lurgesam not able to keep up on the back of Monk here. It's slightly older mediums. And Ule's actually made inroads on Lurgesam. So this battle could be about to ignite. Monk's penalty is 3 seconds for corner cutting. Or not corner cutting, it is 3 seconds. And Lurgesam has dropped outside of that 3-second window. Which isn't good for him. And Ule actually is looking very fast. Fastly approaching the back of Lurgesam here. Very fastly approaching. But yes, it's a 3 seconds for Monk. Kizyul also has a penalty. The other penalties are Kizyul with a 5, Hugendorm with a 3, Potts with 8, Vizendi with 3 and Elson with 3. But Ule's almost in striking distance now of Lurgesam. And Monk has gained a tremendous chunk of time through the farm curve actually. It seems that's where he's gaining the most time on Rosu is through farm curve. As Harris is into the pits. 6 laps to go, Harris into the pits. He's going to drop him surely outside of the points here. So at the moment, double points for both Aston Martin, Red Bull, and that's it. Both they're the teams currently scoring double points. As Ule is fastly approaching the back of Lurgesam here. This is for P3. This is very important for the Drivers' Championship here. Rosu in P1 as things stand would take the lead, I believe. Monk is within DRS range now. Monk has put that gap down. He'll really be kicking himself about the 3-second penalty as things stand. But here we go. It's going to be Ule rapidly approaching the back of Lurgesam now. But he really closed that gap down. As Monk is very close to the back of Rosu there as well. We're going to carry on following this though, because I think Ule might get him on the hanger straight. But actually, Monk and Rosu is very close now. We've got 5 laps to go. As Binder and McWilliams are battling down the hanger straight. No doing of it. Monk now will get the DRS on Rosu as they come through entry. Opens his DRS flap and he'll be looking to gain on Rosu. Both of them flashing in the rear. We've got a yellow flag and it's a Van Loon. Van Loon has lost it on the exit of Stowe. And Ule now in the dirtier seems to really be struggling with Lurgesam. As meanwhile, Monk and Rosu onto the Lewis Hamilton straight they come. Both looking rapid and racy. Through Cops they come now. It's Maggots, the first part of Maggots. Second part of Maggots. First part of Beckett's. Second part of Beckett's. Monk being driven on by the flashing light of Rosu. Which one's the Hamilton straight then? You're going to tell me it's the start-finish line one, isn't it? They're side by side though, through Stowe. Very, very close. Monk looking to switch back, possibly on the inside of Vale. Oh, but Rosu holds it. So this is the Hamilton straight. Oh. I know when I spectate Monk, sometimes he gets a little bit laggy. Only on my end though. As Rosu and Monk very, very close here. The closest battle, and it's for P1. 4 laps to go. Though Monk with 3 seconds worth of penalties, and Rosu gets a much better exit through loop. But Monk with the DRS will close in back into the back of him. And it's very, very close now as they come through Luffield. They're going to then go through Woodcote. Rosu keeping it about 4 tenths. Very important. These two have really pulled away from 3rd and 4th now. As Harris sets the fastest lap on them softs in P14 though. Just stealing a point away from everyone. As Monk looks to be a little bit closer to Rosu this time. Opens the DRS flap. Is he going to think about making a move through Stowe? He is. And he's going to be in the lead of this race as things stand. But Rosu going to hang it around the outside. A little bit of wheel banging. As we're now going to come into Vale side by side. Still side by side. Double right-hander club. And Monk's made the move stick. Monk is now the race leader. With 3 laps to go, he really has to put the burners on to gap Rosu by 3 seconds. And Rosu will now have the DRS. It was very, very close stuff as we're going to ignore that replay. I called it a little bit too late. And now Ule will really want to get past Lurgestam here. But will Rosu catch back up into the back of Monk, and how much by? Keeps it within 4 tenths. As we come through Brooklands and Luffield and then Woodcote. Monk's rear flashing, Rosu's rear flashing. Monk seems to get a much better exit out of Luffield though. As we're going to come through Copse. Rosu gaining a little bit back through Copse though. And it's going to be Maggots and Beckett's. As Harris picks up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Well, multiple not corner cutting. Track limits. Hello, hello. Thank you very much for the raid. As here we have, with 3 laps to go, it is Monk who's leading Rosu. But Monk has a 3-second penalty as Rosu, as long as Rosu can keep it between the rear lines. As Ule goes round the outside of Lurgestam on Stowe, that is for position. That is a very important move as well. Because Rosu, his championship leader, and there's contact again. It's Lurgestam tapping the back of Ule again. Almost a carbon copy of last time. Oh boy. That's twice we've seen Lurgestam just absolutely tap someone in the back and just do him in like that. And both times it has been Ule that he's done. So, not very good. But meanwhile, we're back to the lead. 3 laps to go, including this. Monk not looking like he's going to drop Rosu by that 3 seconds that he needs. As meanwhile, Van Loon is done Harris on the outside there through Stowe. And Vizendi, as Scousey's coming to the pits. Vizendi now up into P11. McWilliams P10. Binder P9. Hop P8. Matthews P7. Hugendorn P6. Kizil P5. P4 for Ule. 3rd for Lurgestam. 2nd for Rosu. And 1st for Monk. Monk almost at that 2nd marker. But with 3 laps to go, I don't think he's going to be able to gain enough time on Rosu to take the win. So here we go. Rosu just hanging on to the back of Monk here. Monk maybe taking the best out of his tyres. 9 lap old mediums versus 13 lap old hards. Rosu should be able to hang on to the back of him here without an issue. But here we go. 2 laps to go. Rosu hanging on to the back here. And then it's going to be Lurgestam who's dropped off the back after the contact with Ule. And Ule has made a little bit gap back up onto Lurgestam, but there's almost certainly a penalty lingering over the back of Lurgestam's head here. Lurgestam needs to put the burners on. He's probably got 2 coming. But meanwhile, the battle for first is probably the closest battle. Actually, McWilliams is looking to catch up to the back of Binder here. Very important for 2 points. Can they keep it clean though? Because McWilliams is fast approaching the back of Binder as they come through the loop now. And Monk picks up another 3 seconds. Monk, in fact, being the one pushing too hard, has picked up another 3 seconds. So Lurgestam could possibly go for P2 here. Very important. Monk not good at keeping it between the white lines, clearly. Not drunky monkey, but at least tipsy. But we're going to go back to the battle because it's this is for 2 points. Harris is also all over the back of Van Loon. But it's going to be McWilliams eyeing up the back of Binder. As the leaders have on the final lap now as they come through Village, and now it's going to be the loop for the leaders. But Williams, we really wanted to make the move on Binder. He's got 1 more lap to do it. 2 more DRS detection points. As we're going to switch back, as it's now a second, but Rosu doesn't really need to chase hard. They were more iconic duo than Mercedes drivers not being able to keep it between the white lines. As Monk will be the leader on track, but with 6 seconds worth of penalties. Rosu will be your race winner. Lurgestam almost 6 seconds off the back now of Rosu. Ule within 3 seconds of Lurgestam. Kizyul 13 seconds off the back of this pairing. And then it's going to be Hugendorn P6, Matthews P7, P8 as McWilliams has made the move on the Wellington straight, but they're side by side still. Binder holds him at bay here, but he's gonna get another big drive as they're gonna come towards Copse now. Can McWilliams make it count? He's got 1 more DRS straight to do it. Monk is gonna be your race leader, but with 6 seconds of penalty, it goes to Rosu. And then it's going to be Lurgestam P3, Ule P4, but we need to follow this battle because McWilliams is looking very racy on the back of Binder. He gets the DRS. He thinks about it, maybe looking for a better exit out of Stowe. He's got 1 more corner realistically to make the move count. He looks to go around the outside on Vale. Binder holds the inside. Matthews overtakes Hugendorn because of penalties, and McWilliams looks to send it up the inside. Oh, and it was right on the line, but Binder holds him at bay. Binder holding him at bay for P9. 8 thousandths. Look at this. Right on the limits. Right on the limits for the boys. As Skowski and Elsom are battling for what is P15. And Skowski looks to make the move count on Elsom as Skowski comes home P14. And thank you very much for the gifted sub there, Forky. That is your race winner. Monk in second. Lurgestam on third. Matthews with an excellent drive though from the middle of nowhere. It's probably not Forgy, I'm afraid, because Lurgestam did a couple of dirty taps on the back of Ule to overtake him twice. It's probably going to be a P4, I'm afraid. But here we have Vlad coming to take the top step around Silverstone. Back to dominance for Vlad. Monk P2, Lurgestam provisional P3. That's your provisional standings on the grid. As Vlad pops the trophy up, has to be happy with his performance though. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Action-packed. Close enough to rival the Tier 1 race. Please, can I get the standings? Game. I beg. Great. I'm not going to get given the standings. Oh, I am. Psych. No, I'm not. EA, please make a non-broken game. I'm going to get ready for the interviews. We managed to get the race done before the real life race happened, so we take them. Going to give it a little bit more time for more drivers to come up. Gonna give it a little bit more time if anyone else wants to come. If not, we'll get this party started. So, it appears no one else wants to come up at the moment, so we're going to go to the race winner, Vlad. Vlad, P1.
Yes,
You must be happy with that one.
yes, was an intense race. I don't know what happened at the beginning with that VSC.
Sanders still put it in the wall between turn 1 and 2.
Yes, but was from the beginning, and you know.
Yeah. It was
And,
a big
and
pile up by
I
the looks of it.
and I was the only one on mediums.
You made the strategy work though.
Yeah, I started on mediums because I was hoping for a safety car, but in the end was quite okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
Also, GG to Monk.
Monk had the room, but had the pace, but also couldn't keep it between the white lines.
Yeah, I saw.
So
He
you're
had
back.
a 6 seconds penalty, right?
Yes, he had 6 seconds in the end. Quite a lot for Silverstone. But back to winning ways, Rosu. You must be happy with that.
Yes.
And Baku's next. How do you feel about the walls of Baku?
Hoping for not a Charles Leclerc moment. Be stupid.
I mean, there's definitely going to be a safety car. If there's going to be a track that we're going to get a safety car, it's going to be Baku.
I think so.
Is there anything else that you would like to say, though, Vlad? You had an outstanding race from the start. Your qualifying pace was to be rivalled with. Only Harris could do faster than you.
I thought I made a mistake to start on mediums because I saw the hards at almost everyone. But it was okay.
You made it work, and that's the important thing.
Yes.
Well, congratulations today.
Thanks,
And
mate.
we look forward to seeing you next weekend. when it will be back to the normal time, not the early time.
Yes.
All right. Well raced, and congratulations on P1.
Thanks, mate.
And we're gonna go to P2 now, which was Monk. P2 Monk leading it on the track, but can't keep it between the white lads, sadly.
I got like 4 warnings, but like millimeters off the track. It's my fault. I mean, literal millimeters off the track, like four warnings because of that.
Greeded for the space as someone has redeemed the hydrate. But overall, you must still be happy with P2. Back onto the podium after a long while, actually, since Canada.
I'd rather have gotten a win. Second time I've lost out on Winter Blad because of penalties.
You know what you have to do?
Where I won on track and just.
Well, you know what you have to do then, don't you, Monk?
I'm pissed at myself.
Don't get penalties. But other than that, you must be very happy with that. Back onto the podium, back on the points.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I got
being
held
drunk.
up. I got held up by Legistam because he was lagging all over the place and wasn't fun. So yeah, and then just pushing like hell to catch up to that. I actually gained like 1.3 seconds in the pit stops. I'm glad.
We commented on that actually, that the overcut happened to have happened for you yourself.
Seems like it. I mean, I came out with Ron saying got to Legistam. And so the undercut didn't work for him.
But overall, solid performance for yourself. P2, so solid points again for the drivers and the constructors.
Yeah. Unlucky for Parts. He got a 5-second on the Virtue Safety that came out before the race had even started. So yeah, unlucky for him. And then he got spun by I think Harris, maybe. That's what he said at least. Coming out of the village onto the Wellington Straight.
Oh no. But other than that, solid performance for yourself. With Baku next, how do you feel about the Baku?
I mean, it's Baku, there's walls. It's a long ass straight, so we're gonna run the low downforce. So sector 2 is gonna be hell.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we go down to Ule next?
No.
Well, thank you very much for joining us up here today, and congratulations on P2 and welcome back to the podium.
Thanks.
Ule,
Hello.
you had a few incidents with Lurgistan on the track there.
Yeah. So I cannot see him here, so basically I might as well come here as P3 driver today. Because let's face it, it's definitely gonna be 1 or 2 penalties for him, and I managed to keep those 3 seconds even after being rear-ended, then hit again. So
We saw 2 incidents with you and him actually.
Yep.
You and him seem to he likes to hit you.
I don't know why the rear end of Alfa Romeo seems so attractive, but yeah. Otherwise, I don't think I was also 100% without fault today, because yeah, although I managed to keep it behind the white lines, and I definitely could have challenged at least Monk, if not even Rosu today, but yeah, thing happens. There was that weird thing, I think it was lap 3 or 4 with Harris, and I really have no idea what happened. I was just doing my line, he was just going on the grass, and the next thing I saw was him bumping from the wall, so I have really no idea what happened here. I'm gonna have to watch the replay.
And Baku next, do you reckon you can keep it out of the walls and keep your front wheels attached?
Well, definitely yes, at least I can bring it home, but let's see how quick I'm gonna be, because that's not one of the tracks I'm really keen with, but I'll give it my best. Last word about today, the hard pace wasn't that good. Actually, I would like to congratulate Monk, because he was definitely the fastest driver on hards, and yeah, I think medium stints though was on at my side. I had an advantage there, but I just couldn't bring it, higher because of Ferrari stuff. But to be fair, in Tier 1 I also driven at Ferrari. I also did Ferrari thing, having mechanical failure. Yeah, but today I deleted my wheel, I put fun next to it, and I brought it home, and I'm happy about it. So yeah, I'm just happy that I can talk with you today. And congrats to Rosso as well. Good drive, and we have a new championship leader. Being it 7 or 10 points.
It's going to be very close, very correct. Let's have a look quickly. Let me do some maths.
As I said, I've gained 12 or 15. He's got 25, so yeah, I had 7 points lead, so it's gonna be either 7 or 10.
You had a
from now on.
9-point lead.
9? Oh.
So, if you get P3, he'll be leading you by 1 point.
Oh god. Yeah, it's getting close into Bakuden, yeah.
I bet you're regretting the words you said a few days ago.
I don't. Actually, I really like this quali because it was really close. I've managed to put my car barely before the Rosus, and yeah, it was provisional pole. Again, other pole for me. Pole on pole.
It wouldn't.
So
Harris was very, very fast in the qualifying. It's a shame that he just had you and him had the incident.
Yeah.
We
Also,
didn't even see it fully on the stream because it cut to the far corner and we just saw Harris run wide.
yeah, I also don't think what happened because I saw him clearly behind me out. It was Luffield, I think, and yeah, I don't know. Really, I'm gonna have to. But if it was my fault, then sorry, Harris.
Is there anything else that you would like to say, Relay, before we go down? And we're going to put up P9 and P10 at the same time.
Good job for Skalski for scoring fastest lap, and thanks for my engineer for being me today. I think that's all. Also, thanks for the team.
Where did Skalski finish?
P15, P14, something like that. But
no
he had
points for fastest
But he had nice overtake last lap on Nelson, which was something to pick up on.
I think we did catch the ending of that on the stream as well, but he won't get the fastest lap points, sadly, because he's outside of the top 10.
Yep. But he'll get there. I hope so, at least. The constructors fight is also on, so yeah. Gonna see you in Baku then.
Yes, Baku. The fight continues.
Yep.
Thank you very much. We're gonna go now to both Binder and McWilliams. 8 thousandths between you two as you cross the line on the checkers flag.
Yeah, it was a bit close, I guess.
Spider took some advice from his countrymen and reeled them in and barely got ahead of him. Learned a lot from Commander from Monza, didn't you? Yeah, it was quite something.
Well, of course I know him, but I have his setups a bit, but I can't use them. So I have my own setups and I drive to my own rules. So I just train with him, and that's everything.
Oh yeah, no. But yeah, that was interesting.
It was way too close. So, I almost spun in lap 22 or 23.
Yeah, no, I saw that. What was that? Exit of Luffield?
Yeah, usually go through there in 4th gear, and I didn't pay attention. I was in 3rd gear, and when I was accelerating, I nearly spun. That was a close one.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll let Luke speak now.
You two both had a brilliant battle for like the last 5-6 laps. You were interchanging positions the whole time. Them last few points really meaning a lot for you guys. A double point score as well for Red Bull and for Aston Martin. Both teams scoring double points today at Silverstone.
It looks like a good weekend for both of us.
I think I should just start last all the time because I started last here and I started last in Monza and I still got points. It's just good performances. I just want more points, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with it as well.
Yeah.
And for a while, you guys were on a 3-horse race with the Mercedes of Potts as well.
Yeah, he was very honest. I think he spun out and then he hit for mediums a bit early.
Okay.
And we kind of just met up. But by the time we got to him, his mediums were like 10 laps old.
Yeah, he got through when I was exiting the pits, so I didn't really fight. But I could keep up with him, and that surprised me. So when I was a bit closer, I could overtake him, and don't know what happened there. Probably had damage, I thought.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked when he sent it up me inside. Considering he had what 8 seconds of time penalties at that point.
Oh yeah, he had, yeah.
So that threw me off a bit, but apart from that, I had a good time. Also, I want to point out there's a point where I was directly in front of Skalski, and I'd like to think he didn't, but I certainly did get flashbacks from last season. Thankfully, I wasn't driving an Alpine, so I was fine. But yeah, it's a good drive, good for the constructors. Obviously Ross is getting the P1 in the drivers coming over today. It's very good for the team. And I look forward to tier 3 on Wednesday.
Yes, but Baku next for you boys. Can you both keep it out of the wall?
I am scared. I'm honest. I am
I'd like-
very scared.
I'd like to think I'd be able to keep it out of the walls. My problem's spinning, not going wide, so I should be okay. But some of the curbs I've seen there are just killer, especially the turn 1. It's so bad now they've taken out that runoff.
Especially without ABS, I need some practice next week. Definitely.
You gonna put the magic on?
We don't speak about that.
But no, thank you very much, boys. Is there anything else either you would like to say before we got Harris in the wings waiting?
All right then.
Yeah, thanks
Good
for having
evening.
me.
Harris, would you like to come up?
I was just chilling, listening.
Harris, pole P3. He set the fastest lap in qualifying. Was rapid through qualifying.
And then I forgot my setup.
You forgot your setup.
I did.
You think you could have been contending for first place then if you had your setup on?
I'd have won it easily.
Ooh. And Baku's next. Can you keep out of the wall?
Nah.
I've just read chat.
What's it said?
Someone by the name of ADSFDFSAD
Aggro.
has called you Alex the Shitter Harris.
At least I've got the balls to race every week, unlike some people.
But yeah, you were rapid in qualifying.
I'm just like Hawkins, aren't I? Washed in the race. Quality merchant.
You're a quali merchant. You and Hawkins, hand in hand, quali merchants.
Oh dear.
Will
What a
you be
shitter.
better in Baku?
I'll probably be on the front row again and then bin it.
I mean, if you bin it in qualifying, there's more danger. There's no.
No, I don't bin it in quali. I'm all right. It'll just be the race.
Oh no.
What?
Just bin it in the race in Baku. I'm expecting at least 3 safety cars a tier.
Oh yeah, it'll be a long race.
It's a good job it's not Brazil on next Sunday.
Is there a race next week? Is it Abu Dhabi or is it a week after?
I think Abu Dhabi's the week after, but I think it starts. When does it start?
You know what? I'm just talking to you like I'm having a normal conversation and not on stream.
Yeah, we are on stream still.
Yeah, race with a load of shit. One of the tracks that you're not likely to get safety cars, so there's no chance of it being recovered.
You needed people to hit each other, basically.
Yeah, started on hard, so couldn't go to hards. So then mediums, when I pitted, were at 52, and I think I had like 4 laps on the soft, and by the end they were at 50% as well, so they were fucked. But I don't know whether that was tyre pressures because of the balanced setup, standard setup, or what. I don't know. It was interesting seeing how much people with setups blew past me when I had DRS. That was funny.
Did they just breeze you like you were just a moving curb?
Yeah, it was hilarious actually.
Put Harris in tier 1 where he belongs and he will stop turning out.
Yeah, I don't do Fridays. I've got 2 very good tier 1 drivers anyway.
but I'd like to say we are 8 minutes until the real life race begins. So is there anything else you would like to add, Harris?
No, we'll leave it there. We'll be polite on stream, shall we?
Yes. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today, Harris. And
Peace out.
hopefully the next race is more kind to you.
Been saying that for weeks.
Yeah, I have been saying that for weeks. You are true.
Peace out, mate.
Goodbye. Anyway, that's been me, Martin, for Tier 2 Silverstone. Join us again on Wednesday as the Tier 3 boys race around Silverstone. Let's see if they can also not bring out a full safety car. Who's going to take it? Swan has been dominating, but can anyone else find the pace to get back at him? Find out on Wednesday. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
You never stop calling me crazy, but you the one that's fucking crazy.